Post-debate coverage of all the party leaders today for you, starting with Andrea Horwath, venturing into Ford's popularity base, Etobicoke. CTV's Tracy Tong is following the NDP leader today. Tracy.
Michelle, Andrea Horwath entered enemy territory, so to speak, here in Etobicoke North today, but she wasn't shy about her message. She brought along with her a large sign criticizing Doug Ford and his plan. Andrea Horwath stepped off her bus in the riding of Etobicoke North this morning, Doug Ford's stomping grounds. She's here to talk about his tax plan.
He talks a good game around being for the people, but his plan is for the rich.
Horwath says she feels energetic entering the last full week of campaigning, even after a heated and confrontational leaders' debate last night.
Mr. Ford, you talk about being for the people. You talk about being for the people, but your plan is for the rich.
Doug Ford and Andrea Horwath often talking over each other to get their points across.
I'll admit it, there were some times in that debate when things went off track and when things seemed to be more about the arguments between the leaders.
This morning, she would not tolerate the interruption when Liberal incumbent Shafiq Kadri crashed her event.
I think we both share a common
I'm sorry, Shafiq. Shafiq, if you don't mind, I'm going to finish my press conference, and then you can have all the time you want to talk to the media. But please don't interrupt me. It's very rude. Very rude.
Of course, I mean no disrespect to Ms. Horwath. In fact, I think we're rather collegial in Parliament itself because, as I say, we do have a common enemy.
Kadri, quoting a line Liberal leader Kathleen Wynne said last night, says he's sorry, not sorry. And Horwath left Etobicoke more than an hour ago to go to a campaign event in Guelph. She will be heading to Ancaster later this afternoon. Reporting live, I'm Tracy Tong. Back to you.
Back on the campaign trail now, but it was anything but an ordinary campaign stop for NDP leader Andrea Horwath in Etobicoke this morning when the local Liberal candidate decided to crash her event.
I think it's unfortunate that they've decided to do this, but happy that I'm here in the riding, happy that I'm here. Nice to see you, Shafiq. What am I going to say? I think it's their decision to behave that way. They'll have to explain it for themselves.
I think we both share a common
I'm sorry, Shafiq. Shafiq, if you don't mind, I'm going to finish my press conference, and then you can have all the time you want to talk to the media. But please don't interrupt me. It's very rude.
Horwath was visiting Etobicoke North and warning against the PC's promised spending cuts. Conservative leader Doug Ford is running in this riding, but it was the interruption came from the Liberal candidate Shafiq Kadri, who has held the riding for the past 4 years. The incumbent took to Twitter a couple of hours later, writing, "Upon further reflection, my actions today at the ONDP event were rash and inexcusable. For that, I would like to offer my sincerest apology to Andrea Horwath and her team."
CTV's Tracy Tong joins us now. She is live in Ancaster with the NDP. Tracy, no question, Andrea Horwath is experienced. But her rivals in this race are questioning the experience of her team.
Well, Ken, Andrea Horwath says that her party absolutely does have cabinet caliber candidates, but she wouldn't name any today, saying that it would only insult Ontarians by pretending they have already made their decision. And as the NDP are continuing to poll well, you can expect Horwath to wear a target on her back in this final stretch of campaigning.
Thanks for being here.
NDP leader Andrea Horwath ventured into Ford Nation, Etobicoke, with a message about Doug Ford's tax plan.
He talks a good game around being for the people, but his plan is for the rich.
Horwath looking to hit Ford at home as she begins the last full week of campaigning.
Well, there's lots of people here.
But as Ford unveiled his potential cabinet picks this morning, Horwath found herself on the defensive about whether the NDP has cabinet-ready candidates.
Well, Mr. Ford might want to be measuring the drapes at Queen's Park, but what I want to do is stay focused on families.
It was hard to stay focused as Etobicoke North Liberal incumbent Shafiq Kadri crashed the event.
I think we both share a common
I'm sorry, Shafiq. Shafiq, if you don't mind, I'm going to finish my press conference, and then you can have all all the time you want to talk to the media. But please don't interrupt me. It's very rude. Very rude.
We do share a common goal about stopping the Ford machine.
Kadri later apologized on Twitter, and Horwath accepted, moving on to campaign in Guelph, where she says families simply can't afford Ford.
A couple of days ago, the advance polls opened, and Mr. Ford is not giving people the respect of showing them exactly what those cuts look like. I think people deserve a lot better than that, don't you?
Ending her day in Ancaster, an area that has gone liberal for the last 15 years. And Horwath's campaign bus just left Ancaster some 20 minutes ago. She will start her day tomorrow in Toronto before making campaign stops in Stratford, Brantford, and in Chatham. Reporting live, I'm Tracy Tong. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Tracy.
The NDP leader takes her campaign into the very riding where Ford is running.
We're very proud of our slate of candidates. We have candidates from every walk of life.
Andrea Horwath defends her team and takes a swipe at Ford.
We have about 10 days left in this campaign where people are going to be coming to their decision. And I'm not so arrogant as to say that I'm going to be measuring the drapes and assigning people to cabinet.
Partway through Horwath's event, the Liberal incumbent crashes the party.
I think we both share a common
I'm sorry, Shafiq. Shafiq, if you don't mind, I'm going to finish my press conference, and then you can have all the time you want to talk to the media. But please don't interrupt me. It's very rude. Very rude.
While Horwath smiles with supporters, Liberal Shafiq Kadri defends himself.
I tried to be civilized about it. I tried to just walk in quietly. I wasn't really planning on saying anything.
He later apologizes on Twitter, calling his actions rash and inexcusable.